IHF. Yo, Simon, what up? IHF. Ill hunting feds. Illuminated indie, never incarcerated, but we are labeled criminals related. Man's lungeon, nicked the lesbian's breast, fell on the door of the Masonic luncheon. Lizards everywhere, licking gizzards and livers. Some ran, some stood there with fear shivers. Halos brightened our corners, heard the hiss and can't believe a politician shape-shifted. Underestimate them and end up an MK Ultra or guinea pig in a concentration pen. Not nigga or Neanderthal, call me niggas, protecting them from white Jesus. Terror struck, bun conversion tribe, Empress Menenshi pays these scribes. Seeming considerate at times when talking to Catholics and bring up the Pope's crimes. Never anxious, remain humble in this concrete jungle, down the same stairs, squares tumble. Good for you, that's what you get. One to legalize gay marriage, got them pushing baby carriages. Feds protect them and serve the high class to keep the poor in control, they inject them. Every day, all day, I'm shoulder checking devils and demons down MTHA hallways. Fence wins games, but I'm not playing. Offense is when the reparations not pens. Marks the spot, X resurrects, nothing but progress. IHF. Inferior me, you out of your mind. Don't let me call the illusions Charlie or crime. How can we not get signed? But police could profile me anytime and not get fined. Fine, keep aggravating me, a puncture accurate agent. Till your head the barrel is adjacent. Time's up like Valentine's Day massacre. Got black straps and white bodies helping us against these racist crackers. What up? It's empty on innocent bystanders while they picket. They find fags in the church ticket. Yep, fags, yes I said it. And I'm in rag. But Kramer could call me a nigga and have no respect. On vibes, low like Rob. I don't talk to sodomites, but they wanna call me a snob. God is my state of mind, not NYC. Police want me hung from the Timberland tree. Prime Minister, product. Yeah, man, you know product. One for the youths. Capital H, capital P. But this is Prime. Yeah. What up, fam? You need to fix your face, you man, you should be smiling. Not drunk off licks, acting like a Viking brute, while and profiling, thinking you're tough. But crying for mom dukes, when the pigs take you away in cuffs. They calling your bluff, got you thinking crime pays. Looking dapper, but when your Timbs get stuffed, crime slays. Young black men are wanted on ballpark, feel like the cops on park benches. Possession gets them a 5 to 10 year sentence. If I try to wake you up, they'll probably kill me. But I will say they run for the prime minister and presidency. Some of them you look at as role models and actors. Entertainers on positive, they got you living backward. Hating yourself and your race for showing love to crackers. Disrespecting black women like some fudge packers. To most money's God, to meet him in peace you rest. Took my box link and ring off, no deals on a bulletproof vest.
Everywhere I look, man, it's screwed faces. Elders and youngins giving me screwed faces. Even though I heal them up, but I'm not real and wailing out a finger to you agents with screwed faces. Watching my God giving me screwed faces. Latter-day saints with screwed faces. We need unity, let's get back to basics. You step on my boots, I'm giving you those screwed faces. Young empresses dressing like skets, cause they saw hoes acting silly, getting attention from big willies on bet. Metro police profile like racist, staring at me through illegal tint with screwed faces. HMV security giving me screwed faces. Behind them white stuff CDs in briefcases. CIA started the red versus blue to not be men. I see they kill Tookie to scare you. See murder did things you'd never heard of. Look where it got him, locked up like a dog in a cage to rot him. Gunman see police and turn running man. Instead of rockers, they following shotters. Can't get the marker without links, cause draw weighs less. If they actually take the vaccine, don't say yes. In my time over money, us youths never stress. For $10 each, we got 440s, blunts, hash, and set. The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. Prime the holy assaultant, running through devil's rituals. I'm burning rainbow flags and tipping cauldrons. See demons running and tripping, trying to seduce me with spells through vixens. To make me lose third eye vision, put out my ether, try to dull my non-shine. See the X on my chest, shows that the beast is suppressed. Prime time is blessed by Ra's energy, giving me guidance. Through my descendants, watch for hype soaks, try to raid my entrance. Worshipping the golden calf, like golden Jesus heads and platinum crosses with ice. And they thinking they're nice, but judgment is twice. The truth is, you more lost than the ark. It's time to mentally wake up out of those ages that's dark. The revolution we here to kickstart, re-spark the black renaissance. The past and the future have a resemblance to how it was in the beginning, it would be in the end. Elohim created man that slept with the daughters of men from the Caucasus caves. Sexually, the gods didn't use cautious ways. Trick knowledge and kidnapping made them nauseous slaves. Looking for Zion, but they lost their way. Heaven is in the mind of the lioness and lion. Looking for a savior who's God's right-hand man. And all their preachers, their right-hand man. Where will you stand when you get to heaven? That lazy man's world, according to you, God has things to do. And no time to sit behind the golden gate waiting for you to come. Your God deserted his son. Let Samson fall asleep and let the enemy come and cut his source of life short. If you're hating, you're not relating. The truth is, I'm a rebel, and through your lies, I see your God as the devil. Put the tree of temptation in the garden, but said don't touch it. Religion got Muslims dressed in winter like they're heading to the Mecca summit. Yo, y'all not freezing? The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. The truth is, they got your minds in nooses. Telling me I'm 3/5 of a human being, you must be stupid. Love got nothing to do with Cupid. Why now do they want truces? We want the stolen legacy back. I say what they don't want me to. Thanks to my ancestors' spirits, when I get close to the knowledge, I feel it. Cause if I show it, we might blow it. Cause Mr. Oreo Negro would bait us up to get with those people who try to stop the life clock, but never knew about the most high chosen few. They took the red, white, and blue and perverted it for sex in the church. The female faith, they skirted it with the veil and hailed the high priest from Egypt. I hate blacks that act like they don't see shit. Attitudes of ignorance, millennium maroons, the first victims of the guns and booze. From the first time they came in raping, they took our gold. Now they want to take your mind and soul. The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Got the auction block through crusades. They say they're bringing knowledge, all I see them bringing is porridge. Farrakhan got us million men marching on the same block. They had us as slaves for auctions. So I saw them sweat those others' actions. They just become distractions to my aura. I speak and never boy, I quick to floor ya. If you want vibes with Satan's spies, I'm not trying to step on toes, I'm stepping on ties and blows make heads crack. Devils screaming my neck, my back, waving their white flag, but we show none. Rappers turning actors, all they need in sermons. I flow and give your brain a purging if you're not learning. The knowledge is power. I drop an hour of knowledge in 3 minutes. For me, that's a scrimmage. I'm too high to see limits. Staring at raw, replace my carrots. I don't smile, watch face, or beg friends from faggots. Cause opposites attract, lights repel. Sitting waiting for emancipation, Israelites rebel. Cause if you don't have the mark, you can't buy or sell. Don't let them fool you, it's dark and cold in hell. Here comes the scar disciple, verbal rifle. My flow sawed off, all your saliva, you're stifled. Choked up, cause I spoke up, I've been woke up from the sleep in this matrix. You're searching for Zion while your heaven gate shapeshift. Devil's elves got the God's irons off the shelves. With blacks only bucking at blacks, you know you bucking yourselves. When will it stop? Put down the gun, leave the Babylonian ways. Killing your brothers, acting like Cain. Doing things not backed by scriptures. Falling on your face to pray and celebrating Christmas. Wearing all types of robes and symbols. Kissing black stones. Worshipping the wailing wall like imbeciles. Facing east to pray while the source is all around us. It tells you not to eat pork in the 7th verse of Leviticus. Christ is Christus. To your mind I see they so vicious. Blacks, to your mind I see they so vicious. The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. We part with the Most High, see you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course. The truth is, if you're hating, you're not relating. You fall with the Most High, so you spar with Satan. The truth is, if you're hating, you're probably lost. Get on and stop flying off course.
Islam Moors, peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali for always telling us the truth about our nationality and birthrights. Because nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. What shall we call him? So often, our various journalists find trouble in selecting the proper name for the Moorish American. Some say Negro. No, let's go back again. Let's go back again. Let's just verify who Noble Drew Ali is talking about. It says Moorish Americans. Journalists find trouble in selecting the proper name for the Moorish American. And then we go to Noble Drew Ali, Holy Quran, Divine Instructions. Holy Quran, Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Drew Ali's divinely prepared work for the Moors. The Asiatic nations and countries of North, South, and Central America. The Moorish Americans and the Mexicans in North America. All right, so when Noble Drew Ali says Moorish Americans, he's talking about North America, and he's talking about everybody except the Mexicans. Everybody except the Mexicans is everybody above Mexico. The Moorish Americans. Noble Drew Ali said the Asiatic nations of North America, which are the Mexicans and the Moorish Americans. If Mexicans are from Mexico, then Moorish Americans are from everywhere in North America except Mexico. And it's just that simple. Nothing advanced. So if you are not a Mexican and you live in North America, you're a Moorish American. If you're not a Mexican and you're in North America, you're an Asiatic nation. If you're an Asiatic nation, that means you have to have an Asiatic state. You have to have an Asiatic state if you're an Asiatic nation. So, okay, so we go to Noble Drew Ali again. Let's go to the minutes of the convention. Noble Drew Ali told all the governors, grand sheikhs, and head officials of temples. So he's talking directly to the people who are the heads of Moorish science temples. By order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, has said the following thing during this our very first convention. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that the Moorish Science Temple of America was organized to play a useful and defined part in the advancement of the sacred obligation of American citizenship, as the Moorish Divine National Movement was founded for the uniting of the Asiatic states of North America, May 1st, 1916. Noble Drew Ali already brought you everything it takes to save a nation and told you take it and save yourself. No one is going to bring something that you're going to join that's going to be greater than what Noble Drew Ali established for you, which is bringing you back to the truth, to the consciousness of your ancient foremothers and forefathers' ancient divine creed on this side of the hemisphere that nobody ever talks about, that's above Mexico. And he established the first institution in North America to teach Negro, black, colored, and anybody else who looks like that the truth about their nationality and birthrights, that they're not Negro, black, colored, that they're part of the Moroccan Empire. And they're Moors. So I had conventions when other people who were supposed to be saying that they're government and they're supposed to be having constitutional conventions if they're going to be adding amendments after the 10 Bill of Rights. And they didn't have any conventions, and the only individual who was having convention was UNIA movement and Noble Drew Ali. And they met, and the stuff was over. So don't say Noble Drew Ali didn't do what he's supposed to do. It's all your nigger leaders who didn't do what they're supposed to do after they assassinated Noble Drew Ali, and all the people who claim that they were followers of Noble Drew Ali that didn't do what they're supposed to do, and all the governors, grand sheiks, and head officials of temples who started playing temple games with people's birthrights when this is about Asiatic states. And this is about the obligation of being an American citizen, which means you're a national of the Americas. And if you're a national of the Americas, you have to be tied to an estate. And that estate is the Moroccan Empire that nobody wants to talk about. And then when we talk about it, people want to pretend like we don't know what we're talking about. And Noble Drew Ali didn't know what he was talking about. And he plagiarized the European and made a book, and then the religion of the Moors, and then they wear the religious hat as the fez comes from the guys in the Congo or cutting people's hands off, so we're not Moors. All right. We know what this is. People who don't know, then hey, they're not going to know. But we're letting you know that we know what's up. All right, Miguel. Push the invite thing. And let's talk about what you thought when you saw Noble Drew Ali on the fridge in a Denzel Washington movie. Push the invite thing. You don't have to be on the camera. Let's see what you think about that. Because we're Moors, we already know what's up. We already know that Denzel Washington is really Washita. And if he has Noble Drew Ali on the fridge, then he knows everything that we know. There's no way he's going to be in a movie with Noble Drew Ali on the fridge, but he thinks Noble Drew Ali plagiarized some European and Noble Drew Ali is not the man. How come nobody else on the fridge? Where's Farrakhan on the fridge? All these people pushing their Fard Muhammad BS right now. How come Denzel Washington didn't have Fard Muhammad on the fridge? How come Garvey wasn't on the fridge? How come all your nigger leaders weren't on the fridge? How come only Noble Drew Ali was on the fridge? And how come the movie was Roman, J, Israel, all the Hebrews are supposed to be on this too, but they're playing games with you. So, don't try to say that we don't know what we're talking about. Because there's somebody in the chat right now with an Instagram page Migeh. And he said, seen a pic of Noble Drew Ali on a Denzel movie. We're just talking about Noble Drew Ali, and somebody just comes in the chat and just says that they saw Noble Drew Ali on the fridge in a Denzel movie. Ask all these Negroes how many of them saw Noble Drew Ali on the fridge in the Denzel movie. And if they didn't, that shows you how off our people are from where they're supposed to be. Because their boy, Denzel, put Noble Drew Ali on the fridge. I give that more honors than Farrakhan putting Noble Drew Ali on some poster. I give Denzel Washington more honors. Honors to Denzel Washington for putting Noble Drew Ali on the fridge. Honors to him. Forget Farrakhan, Fard Muhammad, Ben Amim, whoever else. Forget all of them. Because all of them knew this information about Noble Drew Ali and didn't tell you. And now you're suffering all these nigger problems that Noble Drew Ali told you you're going to suffer if you don't take heed to what he's telling you. But nah, you don't hear what the Moors are saying. You want to do your thing. All right, do your thing. Just remember, we told you. Told you. We didn't even read the thing yet. Look how much we got out of the first line of what Noble Drew Ali told the Moors. First line, we got all that out. People even forgot we were talking about what shall we call him. We didn't get anywhere yet. We still got all this to read. And then to show you the importance of Noble Drew Ali, we had to break down a line in this. Find me somebody else's literature that a line, you're going to have to break that down. So often, our various journalists find trouble in selecting the proper name for the Moorish American. Remember, everybody knows this. This is not some Moorish thing. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. All this, think about this. Everyone knows what Moors are telling you. The proper Moors, not just backwards Moors selling you packages and whatever. The true and faithful Moors. So often, our various journalists find trouble in selecting the proper name for the Moorish American. Our various journalists. Some say Negro. Others will brand him raceman. Still another will call him Afro-American. And then come colored, dark American, coon, shine, the brethren, and your folks. It is indeed a hard matter to find something suitable for the various occasions where a title needs to be used. Is it that these people have no proper name? Did they have a national name when first brought to these shores in the part of the 17th century? If so, what was it? Did not the land from which they were forced have a name? It now appears a good idea for those whose duty it is to write for various journals to find out what the national name of the forefathers of these people was. The forefathers of these people had a national name. They didn't have a tribal name. They didn't have none of that. They had a national name. Why did they have a national name? Because they were part of the American states. They didn't come over here on some ship in the 17th century because the name of the people who came over here were Moors too. So they blend it all up so you get lost. Don't get lost. It's what Noble Drew Ali laid down is the reference point. Not any of these Negro leaders who are around today telling you about sovereignty. No, the first teacher of sovereignty was Noble Drew Ali. And he wasn't teaching sovereignty how people are teaching sovereignty today. You know, consultations and all this BS to be a sovereign. So you can discharge some debt. That ain't what sovereignty is about. Sovereignty is about tying yourself to the ancient foremothers and forefathers, divine and national principles, so that you can be an enlightened being again and start acting as nationals. Because you're going to have nigger, there always been niggers around. Ain't nothing. That's why in the literature of the oral statements of Noble Drew Ali, it said the Europeans went to an old sheik and said, hey, we need some Moors to go do some BS. Yeah, see those Moors over there that are doing nothing, playing dice and all this BS? Go take those Moors. They're serving no purpose here. These Moors murdering each other, take them. Use them for whatever you want. And when those people took that and ran with that on some supreme levels, that they really have us doing it to each other. This is about tying us back to our birthrights and our nationality, and Noble Drew Ali is the only one that told us what it really was. Like we already showed you that we already have, when people start that stuff, where's the Moorish this, where's the Moorish that, Noble Drew Ali already said what we got. He already laid it out for you. Now what are you going to do with it now that you got it? It's your birthright. You're going to play games with it? Know that you have it. Know that you have it. You have what it takes to save a nation, and you're telling them 1,500 so they can save a nation with the thing that you got. It's not what this is about. Anybody leading you down those paths, they are the priests who Yahshua is turning over their tables. That's them in 2020. When Yahshua, he was debating with the doctors of law and all that and turning over their tables because the place smells like bleeding lambs and all that. Those are the same people who today are telling you packages or buy your nationality, or nationality is some commercial thing. So you have to do all these commercial processes in order to be sovereign. All of them are playing you and directing you away from Noble Drew Ali, who brought you something that's greater than anything that these clowns could give you or that you could buy from them. But you want to play games. You want to be Negro black colored. And you think that there's no judgment for that. When there is judgment for that, and it's already happened. This is the Moorish literature of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm a Grand Sheik of a Moorish Science Temple of America. So I know what Noble Drew Ali brought us, because he told us study his literature. So yeah, there's a lot of information out there, but our information is this: what Noble Drew Ali brought. Right? Just go there, and any books you see on there, you probably want to get those, because I have literature from here, and you know, it's some good literature. And we know those are grand sheiks and all that. And they're doing stuff, you know, Noble Drew Ali up front. Right? I can't talk for what anybody else heard, seen, done, whatever. I know that when I engage these Moors, there are some high principle Moors. And for all the new people, if you have questions, make sure you put it in all caps, so we don't get lost. But I see your question. Is it fair to call myself an Aboriginal while I continue to study? Oh, you're a Moor. If you have ancient foremothers and forefathers that are Asiatic, you're a Moor. They're Asiatic, you're a Moor. All the Aboriginal, Indigenous, and whatever could be used, but not without Moor. So if you use it, you're using it with Moor. If you say Cherokee, you're Cherokee Moor. You're not just a Cherokee only. If you want to go deeper and you say Anyanwea, you're Anyanwea Moor. Because Moor better be in there, because you ain't getting nothing without Moor there. That's why I said Moorish. That's why the Jews in Harlem said Moorish Jews. We're not the Jews over there. You guys are going to confuse us with them and try to make it look like, you know, we're trying to copy them. No, we're Moorish Jews. We're not Jews who people think are Jews. We're Moorish Jews. Anybody with common sense in the Americas above Mexico, if they're doing anything and they say foremothers and forefathers, they put Moorish on it. If they don't, then, you know, whatever. Suffer all the abuses. Oh yeah, suffer the abuses. Like, got to go to our heavy hitter, the delectable Negro. For all the people who want to be Negro black colored, you want to play that game, go right ahead. Don't say we didn't tell you how they look at you. You're delectable to them. Like, you're really delectable to them. Right? This is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one. This is the one, not to show some European, oh, look how the Europeans are. No, this is not for that. This is to show the dummies who lay on the table to get whatever they get from the European. We're not concerned with what they do, because we already know how they do. It's our creation. We already know how they do. So we choose to be over here. If you have any jurisdiction, we're in the Moroccan Empire. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, fine, no problem. Yeah, just like the elder told them Europeans, go over there and get those Moors over there who want to be Negro black colored. Don't look over here to us and Moors. We're not the same. Because they're volunteering to be stakes on the table. They're volunteering. Right? Let's see. Because this shit shit goes in on some different levels to see really why. Why nobody always say you're not Negro, black, colored? Because stuff was going on that they're really not telling you about what's going on. Given the emphasis upon honor and valor in Nantucket culture, it makes sense that the Essex incident would have registered in the Nantucket community as a particularly shameful and dishonorable experience. As I have already noted, for America in general, the idea of cannibalism brought to mind heathen and savage cultures. By this time in American history, Europeans had either conquered, mostly eradicated, or reformed the so-called savage cultures of Native America and coastal Africa. Nantucketers felt betrayed by Chase for even mentioning the subject of cannibalism in the public domain. According to Nathaniel Philbrick, the last thing they wanted placed before the nation and the world was a detailed account of how some of their own men and boys had been reduced to cannibalism. In the early 20th century, this stigma of shame and degradation remained. When asked about Nantucket affair, the daughter of Benjamin Lawrence, the boat steer aboard the Nantucket, replied, "We do not mention this in Nantucket." The main reason for the silence concerning the Essex incident had to do in part with cannibalism, but more significantly with the fact that the first persons eaten from Essex crew were African Americans. The captain's log reported that black man in one of the boats accompanying his died on January 25th and was eaten. On January 23rd, a black man in the captain's boat died, and his body was shared for food between the crews of both boats. On January 27th, a black man died in the other boat, and on January 28th, yet another black man died, and in the captain's boat, both of whom were eaten. You want to be Negro, black, colored, and all that stuff? You go right ahead. That's why we give supreme honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali for telling us that we're not Negro, black, or colored. That nobody tells you about. And then people are going to be playing race games with you. Which is why, again, remember, all this has to do with what shall we call him. Everything that we're talking about has to do with the first paragraph. Without knowing what Noble Drew Ali brought, the compass is just spinning like you're in some wormhole, a black hole of nothingness. Jolly put you on your square so that you can't be moved. Remember, all this is what shall we call him. Also, look into history of the founders of civilization and see who they were and where they stood in the building of the present civilization. Probably 2 hours in an up-to-date library would serve to relieve the strain on our men of letters. When the occasion presents itself for the title of these people, the matter of the various names given to these 22 million people with all colors of every race of the globe was an act of European psychology. They gave him a name, then defined it as something inferior to theirs. White they defined as a color of purity. Black, they say, represents everything of evil. The Negro, as they were called in this nation, have no nation to which they might look with pride. Their history starts with the close of the Civil War, or more properly, with his being forced to serve someone else. Thus he is separated from the illustrious history of his forefathers, who were the founders of the first civilization of the old world. This matter should be looked into with a hope of correcting it. This issue of being separated from the illustrious history of our forefathers is a matter that should be looked into, and not just looked into, but with hope of correcting it. And then correcting it would be declaring your nationality, proclaiming that you're a Moor, in this day and time having had some judicial proclamation as you are the judge, this is your estate, to put it on the record that you're not Negro, black, colored. You know who you are, and don't play it with me like you don't know what I'm talking about. Because I already know you know what we're talking about. Now, we're the Moors, and the ancients were supposed to return, and that we're returning. Been returning. And it's all because of this man, Noble Drew Ali, who nobody wants to talk about. But they'll let you get eaten, though. They'll let you be in the burgers. And then there's juice running down your elbow and all that. Don't even know you're eating yourself. And this is the picture from the fridge. So if this picture is on this literature, then Denzel has to know. There's no way he doesn't know what's up, because he had Noble Drew Ali on the fridge. Like, why do you have Noble Drew Ali on the fridge? How come Fard Muhammad wasn't on the fridge? All these people pushing Fard Muhammad right now. For all the people pushing Fard Muhammad right now, giving him all these honors, talking about him on their podcasts and whatever. Come Fard Muhammad wasn't on the fridge in Roman J. Israel. Oh, that's just a movie, right? Oh, okay. Well, Matrix was a movie, you go with that. Black Panther was a movie, you go with that. But Roman J. Israel, oh, we're not going to go with that. With Noble Drew Ali on the fridge. We're going to go with, vibranium coils and all this BS. We're going to go with that. You go with the lake to go in there and see your ancestors and all that stuff, but you're not going to go with Noble Drew Ali on the fridge, who was 1920s? All right, fine. Don't go with Noble Drew Ali on the fridge then. Don't get mad at Moors when we call you out for being traitors. So if you're going to ride with Fard Muhammad, you should be riding with Noble Drew Ali, because Noble Drew Ali made Fard Muhammad. The whole story of this silk seller and all that stuff, that's Noble Drew Ali's story. That's not Fard Muhammad's story. They think they could prop him up as prophet and give him honors. No, you don't want to give honors to where he stole it from? All right, fine, don't give honors to where he stole it from. But don't get mad when we bring up Noble Drew Ali and then we have to talk about all this history that you people haven't been telling. as if the Nation of God's flag is the flag. That's not the flag. The flag's the Moorish flag. And that Nation of God's flag is the Circle 7 from Noble Drew Ali. The 4 quadrants on it and everything. Don't get fooled by all the rays and all that stuff. The 7 with the broken circle, that's Noble Drew Ali. All these people jacked his stuff and don't want to give him honors. But it's okay. You don't have to. We'll give him honors. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Forever. No one else is getting honors. Honors to the Prophet. He's the only one that brought us our salvation. Everybody else played you. And then it's up to you if you're going to go lay on the table or declare your nationality and be who your ancient foremothers and forefathers were. Because Drew Ali brought that. Nobody else. So don't, I'm mad. Do your traitor stuff. We already know what's up. If you're going to go that route, we already know you're a traitor. You don't honor our people. You just honor your status position. But honors, thanks for dressing up like Moors and showing Moroccan flags and videos and all that stuff, And you tried to wake these people up. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You're the man. You're the man. If nobody ever told you, know that the Moors that are studious and active, they know who you are and what you did, and they give you supreme honors. Because you are the man. Remember, it's not somebody we know. This random individual just decided to let Allah speak through them. Hey, I saw Noble Drew Ali on the fridge in a Denzel movie. How? They telling us we don't know what we're talking about. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Peace and love to all. Don't get eaten. But it's crazy right now. Take their mask off to eat you and then put their mask back on after, like there's something going on. Peace and love to all Moors. Honors to all mothers. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. The man. The Moorish American national. Man. Yeah, just in case you thought Noble Drew Ali the man, like we're on some madness. No. Moorish American national. The man. Honors to all. Peace and love on the moon day. And just give honors, man. Just give honors. Just to stop fronting. Stop fronting like you guys don't know what's up. You want to kickstart some revolution? Let's all say that we're Moors. How about that? Let's do that. And don't forget, peace and love to all. Shine your light. This is not some club, whatever. This is a reclamation. It's a reclamation. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Peace and love to all Moors. Islam.